Hey, Teresa.
Hey, welcome.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fabulous. You know what? I should start
Good.
saying amazing, just like all of Grant Cardone's team. Whenever you ask them, how you doing? Amazing.
Amazing.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, look where you're at. I mean, why not?
I know, right? How you doing, Jason?
Good. How are you?
I am well. It's Friday. It seems like these weeks just seem to fly by.
Insanely fast.
Amen.
Yeah. And I heard you guys have an amazing guest speaker on tonight.
We
We
do.
do. We are
Oh,
super excited.
absolutely.
No
I'm
pressure, Catherine.
None.
I'm
She can
excited about it.
handle it.
It's all old hat to
It's
her.
it's only Friday. It's all good.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's all
Not
Hello,
like
good.
Catherine.
it's.
I heard a lot of good things about you.
I'm excited to be here. I feel really honored, and there's nothing more rejuvenating than being with a bunch of investors and capital raisers and all the things, people doing the good things in the world. So the fact that all y'all are still here, this is pretty awesome.
This is the hardcore group because they stick out Friday night, right? Instead of going
There we
out.
go. I like that. The hardcore group. That's where I belong.
Yeah, this is probably Audrey's 15th call today.
Yeah.
There you go.
God.
And just count them up for the week.
Yeah. I'm usually on like 8 or 9 a week.
Gosh, just a lot, right?
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're up to doing something, it matters.
That's right.
Yes. Well, what does Grant say? Like, there's no, with every success comes suffering. Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, Catherine, Laura, Teresa, good to see you guys.
Hi, Lily.
Yeah.
Lily,
Been a
Hello.
while. Good to see your
thanks
face.
for joining us. Good
Yeah,
to
of
see you.
course. I'm excited to be here.
Been almost a year since we met.
It has been, I guess, in October.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago.
Right?
We've
Time
done a
flies.
lot. Yeah.
Creating momentum. That's what we're doing.
How many people are usually in this call?
So, it depends. We get between 30 and last week we had 74.
Nice.
So,
70, yep, 72.
72.
So is
Yep.
everybody here have funds, capital raisers, investors? Like what's the demographics, so to speak?
Pretty much across the board.
Okay.
Capital raisers, people learning, real estate, people who want to get into real estate. The intent of the call was really to kind of pay it forward and bring information that we learn through our journey to other people to help them along on theirs.
Okay. Now I see why you wanted me here, Laura. I am a pay it forward. I'm usually
That's
a fire hose of paying it forward. So be prepared.
that's what the intent of this call. That's how it started, really. But
Bring it, sister.
Yay.
Bring it.
so yeah, let's go.
I gotta say,
We've been building you up all day.
Yeah, that's
Catherine is awesome in all aspects of her life. So she's just a
Oh,
powerhouse. Love her.
thank you. All out of necessity, that's for sure.
Mhm.
This is really, really cool. You guys have been doing this call for how long?
About 2 years.
2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Just a
yeah.
little over 2 years. Yeah.
Yep.
That's incredible. And then what do you do with like the recordings afterwards?
YouTube. So we put everything on YouTube for people to be able to continue to watch and rewatch. So we have a YouTube site.
And I'm going to
Anything?
put a link in our chat, our ladies chat, Catherine, and Lily, because somebody asked me about it and said they couldn't be here, but I'll link the recording.
Yeah.
And
There's
also Catherine, that we're part of the More Club, and this will actually they have a room or I don't know what you call it, but this video will be posted in that group as well. So
and what's the More Club?
that's what does it stand for? Uh,
Maximizing opportunities in real estate.
there you go. It's
Nice.
Adam Williams group.
Okay, I haven't heard of
Adam
him.
Williams and Justin
Justin
Colby.
Colby.
That's really cool.
Adam said she's talked to you. He's talked to you, Catherine.
Adam?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He's in Phoenix, Arizona. Or
Yeah,
He
Scottsdale.
said he's
Scottsdale.
spoken. He has
Scottsdale.
spoken with you.
He's got like 11,700 doors.
Oh, I love that.
LFS Capital is his company.
Okay. I have like literally thousands of conversations.
Yep,
So
yep.
Right. So usually you
One
gotta
of the
match your
many
face
people
up.
that you connected with and
And you
paid it
don't re-
forward to.
And you don't remember every single one of them? What's
Yeah,
wrong with
right.
you?
I know. Well, it depends like if we do something together, right?
Yeah.
Like it's those are the things. And I think for me, it's like, did I leave them better than I found them? Like that's we want to make sure that did I provide value in the conversation. So I usually give people homework or make them cry or do both. So I'm gonna
Oh,
give
we're
all
ready.
Which
y'all
one do you all want tonight?
We want to cry.
Cry.
I'm a good cry.
Okay.
Sounds good,
Okay.
you know?
I'll bring on the cry, and I'm already gonna give you homework, just so you know.
She's got a
Well, why
beautiful
don't
story that makes me cry.
why don't we get started then? So what I'll do is I'll kick us off, and then Laura's going to introduce you, and then we'll give you the floor.
Love it.
So welcome everybody. This is Friday Night Lights. For those of you who are new, welcome. For those who are returning and been here with us this entire journey, welcome back. This call has been running, like we were saying before, approximately 2 years. And the intent of the call really was to pay it forward for us to be able to give information back to those who might be learning, depending on where you are on your journey. We have done multiple things like bring special guests on. We have walked through our entire journey with our last property, where we walked you guys through every week of what we've done from PSA all the way out till closing. And we continue to do that, and we're excited to continue to do that with you guys. Today is a special day because we have a special guest. And one thing I would like to say is we always have a disclaimer. We are not real estate attorneys. We are not SEC lawyers. We are not tax accountants. Always do your due diligence. Make sure that you investigate everything and make sure that what you decide to do really is in your best interest. But this is for educational purposes, and we like to pay that forward. And with that, I will give it to Laura to do an introduction for Catherine.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, we're super excited to have Dr. Catherine Bell here with us tonight. She is an impact investor. Like, she has touched so many lives. She's an entrepreneur. She's a 5-time international best-selling author whose mission is simple: leave every person, property, and community better than she found them. And after building and selling a multi-million-dollar business, Catherine created 13 streams of passive income through real estate and alternative investments. And as the founder of Titan Impact Group, she now helps investors build wealth across mobile home parks, commercial real estate, debt funds, and energy investments. She's also a leader in using AI to transform capital raising, combining automation with authentic human connection to accelerate investor relationships and help raise tens of millions of dollars. Her work in business, investing, education, and philanthropy have earned her an honorary doctorate in business administration. Please welcome us join us in welcoming Dr. Catherine Bell.
I love it. Well, thank you for having me. I'm super, super excited to have you to be here and to be a part of a group that clearly is about leaving every person, property, and community better than we found it, and paying it forward. Like that's the most important thing I feel like that we could possibly do for ourselves, each other. And if it wasn't for people paying it forward in my life, I certainly wouldn't be where I'm here today. So, like I said at the beginning, one of the things I do is definitely give homework. So, for your first piece of homework, I'm going to give to all y'all, take lots of notes, is this. If you haven't read Oh, this book says literally today. So right here, this book, Who Not How, by Dan Sullivan. This, I tell everybody, go get this book now, get it tonight, read it, listen to it, whatever it is. Because here's the thing, when we ask better questions, we get better answers. And most people are asking, how do I do this? And the better question to ask is who already knows how to plug into them, to collapse those timelines, add commas to your bank account, and get the benefit of that. Right? Like that's the most important thing that we could possibly do for ourselves and our team, our company, our communities. So that's, the thing that I want to start out with, that I think is super, super important for everybody to get. So that's your first piece of homework. What we're going to talk about today, really like so for you guys, I'm a nerd at heart. So we're going to nerd out. Is anybody okay if we nerd out? Can we say nerds rule the
Yeah,
world?
Star Wars,
Everybody
let's
put
go.
nerd in the chat. Spreadsheet nerds, whatever kind of nerds you are. This is the kind of nerd we are. So thank you, fellow nerds. I love this. Okay, so as I get ready to nerd out, let me share my screen if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. Come on, little guy. Here we go. Okay. So, I have so much to share with you. I'm going to get through this. So, really excited that we're all here. Um, so I want to spend some time together really talking about what it is and how we can actually leverage. Doodles. I apologize. This is being annoying. Dang it. No, thanks. Stop it. I apologize. Hold on. This isn't doing what I want it to do. I'm trying to share my screen with you guys. I
It shows
can't.
that the setting is on, Catherine. What kind of problem are
It's
you
not
having?
you, it's me.
Okay, okay.
Let's be really clear. It's me.
Sounds like our last relationship. It's not you, it's me.
Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. I have too many screens. That's the challenge. Okay.
She does fit right in. Too many screens.
Full on nerd. Okay. Pull this over here. There we go. Okay. I'm really going to bring the value tonight to you guys. That's what my commitment is. Okay. So I want to spend our time together talking about something that I'm a little obsessed with, and it's leverage. It's all about leverage. And I assert that all of you are here about the leverage as well. So specifically, I'm going to talk about how I'm using AI to buy back my time, to collapse those timelines, and my favorite phrase is add commas to bank accounts. So if anybody wants more commas to their bank accounts, let's put that in the chat. Anybody want more commas, or is it just me? I can't be the only one who wants more commas. So,
Me.
because I know that I'm speaking to investors, fund managers, and people who understand capital, I don't want to spend 30 minutes talking to you about how cool AI is. You already know AI is changing things. So, I want to show you what I'm actually doing with it. So, how I'm using it in my companies, how I'm using it to raise capital, how I'm using it to make investment decisions, and ultimately how I'm using it to create something that I think is much more valuable than efficiency, and that's freedom. So if anybody wants freedom, put freedom in the chat. Because today I have a team that's working for me that I could never have afforded to actually build just a few years ago. Let me just realize I wasn't sharing my screen. Here we go. Okay, y'all can see my screen now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So, um, my team, they answer emails, They research prospects, they find leads, they create content, they analyze opportunities, they help me make decisions. Some of them help me write, they help me think, they help me communicate. Some even work while I'm sleeping. And they don't call in sick. They actually have never called in sick. Hallelujah. And they don't take vacation and they work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And most of them actually aren't human. They're actually all AI. But here's the distinction I want to make right at the beginning. I'm not trying to replace humans with AI. I want to be really clear about that. In fact, I'm trying to do the exact opposite. I'm trying to use AI to get all the stuff off my plate that keeps me from doing the things that actually require me to be human. So, because especially in a world where capital is still raised through trust, deals still happen through relationships, people invest with people. So, my question becomes how much of everything surrounding that relationship that I can give to AI so that I can be more present inside of the relationships? Which brings me to the question I want you all to think about for the rest of the time. So here's the question, the $10 million question. If I came to you today and said, you need to raise your next $10 million, but here's the catch. You can't hire people and you can't work more hours. How would you do it? Because what we do, we normally do when we need to grow more. We do more calls, more emails, more networking, more events, more staff, more hours, more activity. But there's a fundamental problem with that model. Eventually, you become the bottleneck. And I know that because I've lived it. That actually was my path. So in fact, I learned about leverage because there was a point in my life when I had absolutely none. Come on. So I came to this country when I was 26 years old with literally nothing. And my husband, my late husband, he had this big American dream, and together we built a dream into a multi-million-dollar company. So eventually, around 2008, 2009, we sold our company and we had a small real estate portfolio, and life was good. We had done it. We were living the American dream. And then the economy crashed. My husband got sick, and we literally lost everything. So I did what all entrepreneurs do. I worked and worked and worked and worked. And there were periods where I was working 80 hours a week while taking care of my sick husband and raising my twins. And I remember realizing that I can't work my way out of this. Not because I wasn't willing to work harder. There simply wasn't any more hours in the day. And that's where the problem became very different. So that's when I started learning about passive income and the idea that the average millionaire has multiple streams of passive income. And as for a fact, it's 7. The answer is 7 streams of passive income. And that was a huge aha moment when I learned that. And so I thought, okay, then I need multiple streams of passive income. So I learned wholesaling and then buy and hold, then flipping. I actually ran a program here in Arizona called Flipping Females. And through partnerships with women and families, we actually flipped over 500 homes here in the Valley. Then we went on, we did vacation rentals, residential ground up, commercial developments, in multiple different asset classes. And eventually I created 13 streams of passive income. And I thought I understood what leverage meant. Then 2018 happened. In 2018, my husband died very tragically, leaving me a single mom and a widow, literally overnight. So when it came to those 13 streams of passive income, those became something completely different to me because they weren't really 13 streams of income anymore. They were streams of time. They allowed me to take a year off, to grieve, to be with my twins who were 14, to figure out who I was and what I was going to do next. So leverage bought me time when time mattered the most. And that experience fundamentally changed how I think about wealth. It eventually led me to creating Titan Impact Group, my company now. So Titan means the Sentinels of the American Dream. Impact means that we leave every project we have anything to do with, we leave every person, property, and community better than we found them. And group means that people can plug into all our different investments and asset classes and create those multiple income streams for their family. Because I've lived the 5 Ds. So it's death, divorce, diagnosis, downsize from the economy, or being dumped from their jobs. My philosophy is that streams 1 through 7 create resilience, and then 8 and beyond create impact. So you get to start asking a different question. What can I do with the excess? And then a few years ago, I started asking a completely different leverage question. So I knew how to create leverage with money, but what if I could create leverage with something even more finite, my time? What if I could create leverage with my knowledge? What if I could scale parts of my relationships without making those relationships less human? That's when AI became much more than ChatGPT to me. I stopped thinking that what can AI write for me and started thinking, what parts of Catherine can I scale without losing Catherine? And that's what you're looking at here. So at the center, it's still human. It's me. So around me is the invisible team. I have AI that helps analyze deals in minutes rather than hours, days, and weeks. AI helps me with prospecting and content, AI that supports investor education, AI that helps me think through strategy, and I've built a virtual advisory board. I can pressure test an idea through different strategic lenses before I even take it to my real team. I've now written 8 books and have become a 5-time international best-selling author. And then there's CatherineBell.ai. So it's an actual AI clone of me that has now had over 118,000 conversations with investors. What would you give to have somebody have those conversations, like in my voice and my personality? But do that for you. And that's the point. The objective isn't about replacing me. It's to free me to do what only I can do. And that distinction leads to the first thing I want you to take away from today. So, secret number 1, don't automate the relationships. Automate everything preventing you from having it. This is especially important in capital raising. On the left are things the machine can help me do: research prospects, prepare data, identify opportunities, organize information, draft communications, analyze deals. So that's all fantastic. Let it. Because look at what's on the right. Listen, connect, build relationships, lead, decide, create relationships. That's my job. So when somebody says AI is going to make everything impersonal, my response is only if you use it badly. So used properly, AI can actually give you more time to be personal. And here's where this gets particularly interesting for capital raising, because I discovered another problem. Secret number 2. We all want more leads, But I don't think more leads are necessarily the answer. I think the answer is knowing exactly who you're talking to. So ask a fund manager who their ideal investor is, and they'll often say something like accredited investor, 45 to 65. Certain net worth, interested in alternatives. Great. That's some great check boxes. But let's face it, that's not a human being. And here's the thing, you guys, I want you to understand. It's that I studied Fortune 500 companies and what they were doing. And when I understood what they were doing, all of a sudden, that's when everything changed. Because if I do the same things they're doing, I should get similar results. And what I understood was that Fortune 500 companies spend an enormous amount of money understanding their customers, their ideal client avatar. What do they fear? What do they want? What are they trying to become? How do they make decisions? What causes them to hesitate? What language do they use? What has to happen before they trust? And AI has changed our ability to do that. Because today we can build incredibly deep psychological and behavioral models in a fraction of the time and cost. But understanding the investor is only one piece, because this is where I think most people are still using AI incorrectly. So most people I meet are still here. So they're at the prompt stage. Write me an email, write me a LinkedIn post, summarize this document. Then they graduate to tools, maybe agents, but the real opportunity is over here in ecosystems. Because imagine if the AI creating your content knows your entire business. It knows your ideal investor. The AI doing prospecting knows the same investor. The follow-up system knows what content they've consumed. Your communication understands their positioning. Your decision support understands the business. And all those pieces speak the same language. Now, you don't have a collection of AI tools, you have an infrastructure. And that's what led us to build what I call the Rosetta Stone. So the Rosetta Stone starts with the foundation, so business intelligence. So when we build this out, that business snapshot ends up being about 150 pages. It is a deep, deep, deep dive into their business. So it's their vision, their mission, their offers, their language, the positioning strategy, how the company actually works. Then we build the ideal client avatar. And this isn't a one-page marketing exercise. We're going deep. Eventually, it's about a 40+ page of the psychological and behavior of that person we're trying to serve. But then we do something I think is really, really powerful. We bring that person to life through AI. So now we're not just storing and researching. We can actually interact with the avatar. And the whole architecture is trying to solve one problem. And you guys, I want you to get this right and write this down. Marketing comes down to three things: right person, right message, right time. This is what the Fortune 500 companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars doing. So write that down. Right person, right message, right time. This is really important. So because if you get those three things right, capital raising starts to look very different. So let me show you mine. So meet Elizabeth Thompson. Elizabeth is my ideal client avatar. She's been married for over 20 years. She has 3 kids. I know what she wants. I know what she's afraid of. I know how she thinks about money. I know her investment goals. I know the language she naturally uses. But here's where it gets fun. I can actually talk to her, and I do daily. So before I launch something, I ask her, Elizabeth, what worries you about this investment? Why wouldn't you take this call? Why would you take this call? What about this message doesn't resonate? What does resonate? What am I missing? Think about what that means to your business. So imagine being able to pressure test your investor deck against your ideal client avatar before you ever send it out. Your email sequence, your webinar, your landing page, your offer, your follow-ups. So now Elizabeth literally is predicting what every investor will do. So, of course, she's not. She's the model. But she forces us to stop communicating with a demographic and start communicating with a human being. And that's the difference between personalization and precision. So this slide really captures the before and after. So on the left is what so much capital raising still looks like. Spray and pray, cold outreach, and essentially says, "Hi, we just met. Will you marry me?" Like a little bit crazy. You'd be like, "Run, run, Forrest, run." But how many times do we actually hear that happen? So hours of manual analysis, missing timing, disconnected systems, chaos. On the other side, the goal isn't more AI, it's precision. So investor ready messaging, a nurture sequence that earns trust before you ask for a commitment. Analysis that takes minutes instead of hours. The right message, the right time, the right investor. And systems that can actually scale. Because when pieces begin working together, something interesting happens. The results compound. And I know all of you know what compounding interest is, and this is the power of that. So in November of 2024 was the moment that became very, very real for me. And what happened was I had been playing around with AI and doing a bunch of things. And this is where the nerd of all nerds came in. Okay. I know y'all are nerds here with me. Is what I did was I released my first 3 books. And here's what I knew about writing books. I knew that when I wrote a book, when I sold it, I'd have no idea who bought it, so I couldn't follow up with them. And the second thing I knew is that when I wrote a book, most people wouldn't even read the whole book anyway. So the nerd inside of me was like, okay, what could I do? What I did was at the end of every chapter of all of my books, I put a QR code and a call to action to go talk to my AI clone about that chapter or the book. So my AI clone is catherinebell.ai. So I released my first 3 books. I released my AI clone, and that was that. That's what I thought of. And all of the target was behind targeting Elizabeth. Because remember, I wrote these books and my clone and everything with Elizabeth, and she was helping guide everything. So the books, the messaging, the clone, the ecosystem, and within about 3 weeks, are you ready for this? I accidentally raised $11 million.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
I love
Anybody accidentally want to raise 11 million in 3 weeks? Right? Like that.
Sign me
Again,
up.
the nerd inside of me was like, yeah, let's see what happens. And oh my gosh, like everything changed, right? So that was really, really big. So when we looked at who was investing, something jumped out. You guys get this. 100% of that 11 million was all women that fit the Elizabeth box. Because I nailed it. Right message, right time, right person. Are y'all seeing this? This is nuts. Like, this was amazing. This absolutely was a game changer for me. So since then, we've continued applying these ideas across everything that we do. So our debt validation fund, we raised over $50 million, and it's paying my investors 20% annually, and it's helping over 33,000 veterans and first responders. The end of last year, we were a part of a $100 million oil and gas fund. that had significant tax depreciation benefits for our investors. So again, we think holistically of this because I'm having conversations with Elizabeth about, wait, what is happening in your family, what's happening economically, and these are how we decide what investments we're going to raise capital for. So excuse me. Now, I'm not standing here telling you AI is the magic button. It's not. And I'm certainly not promising that you can install some software and $11 million magically appears. The lesson is much more valuable. Precision compounds. So when your business understands itself, understands exactly who you're serving, and has systems capable of executing around that understanding, now you have created leverage. So that's why I want to end where we actually began. It's not with AI, it's with leverage. So for me, there are 4 rungs to this ladder. So first, you buy back your time. So look at everything you're doing and ask this question. Again, I want you to write this down. Does this actually require me? Write that question and start asking everything that you're doing. Does this actually require me? Second, collapse your timelines. So here's the question to write down. What currently takes your organization a week that could actually take an hour? So I'll say that again. What currently takes your organization a week that could actually take an hour? The next question, what takes an hour that could take 5 minutes? So I'll say that again. What takes an hour that could take 5 minutes? The third, add commas to your bank account because we're investors, we're entrepreneurs, we're capital raisers. Doing well matters. But I think there's one more rung. Decide what those commas can change. For me, this has become deeply personal. One of my biggest missions is chosen forever. So my whole goal is that I want to help 100,000 adoptable children in the US foster care system find permanent families before what I call Black Trash Bag Day. What that is their 18th birthday. If they've lived their whole lifetime in the foster care system, their 18th birthday becomes Black Trash Bag Day. And what that means is they're handed a black trash bag on their 18th birthday. And these kids end up statistically homeless. 70% of our homeless people came out of the foster care system, which leads to drugs, prostitution, and being trafficked. 60% of the kids being trafficked came out of foster care. 2/3 of our incarcerated population came out of foster care. And the solution isn't finding them a home to live in or a job. It literally is family. Because when we give a human being family, it now gives them that core base to come back to for birthdays, holidays, all the good times, the hard times, and then that changes them neurologically in their brains and allows them to form bonds with other adults and has them go on to become productive contributing members to society, ending the cycle that they were born into. So it really is families. And yes, it's only 120,000. There's 2.1 million families looking to adopt. I adopted my twins out of the foster care system when they were 4 months old. They'll be 22 next week. My son went on to become a US Marine, and my daughter's building her own little empire. I was adopted when I was 16. I was a black trash bag kid. But because being loved and being chosen forever, it changed my life and the trajectory of my life forever. So that is my why I add all these commas to my bank account. And yes, I'm using AI to do it. And yes, I had a whole conversation today. The White House is actually asking me to come and speak to them about this so that we can change that and get all those children adopted. So this is a really big deal. So that's why I believe doing good and doing well can coexist. So, and actually, I think that they should. I know I don't should, but I think this is a should for us for sure. So I'll leave you with a question. So I asked at the beginning, write this down. If you had to raise your next $10 million without adding more people or more hours, how would you do it? And maybe there's an even better question. If AI could give you back 20 hours every week, what would those hours actually be worth and what would you do with them? Not just your fund, not just your company, you. Because AI isn't the destination. The destination is leverage. Buy back your time, collapse the timelines, add commas, and then make those commas matter. So I just want to say thank you. And if any of you have any questions or anything, and any nigglies in the middle of the night, whatever, there's two places you can go. You can actually go to meetcatherinebell.com. I've got videos, books, all the fun things there. But if you go to catherinebell.ai, you actually can have a conversation with me, my clone. She's available 24/7. It's my voice, my personality. She'll give you homework. She might make you cry. She'll make you laugh. But she's there to help do whatever she can do to help add commas to your bank accounts so that you can go make that difference. So I hope this made a difference for somebody. And more importantly, I would love to know for you, what are you choosing to take away from what I shared today? So, I don't know if I'm over time or where I'm at with this, but I really am committed to making sure, like, that each one of us, because we're so intentional in how we're creating our businesses and our lives, like, what are you choosing to take away from what I have shared with you today? Was this helpful?
This was amazing, and you've got lots of time for Q&A. So
Yes.
this is
Okay,
great.
good.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So who has questions?
So Mark is asking what AI program you're using.
So I built it. And I've built it for several other companies. I've had PE groups and hedge funds and all sorts of companies have us come in and build out AI because we use all the things and all the agents. And they have credited my AI system for now they have over $100 million dollars in assets under management for what we've built. So we use ChatGPT, Claude, Notebook LM. I have a whole toolbox that we build specifically and give them. Yeah, I shouldn't say give them. We build out their team members for them and teach them that they're team members, they're not just tools. And that's where everything changes.
Love it.
I just wanted to say one thing. My name's Audrian, and I am incredibly proud of you of what you have overcome and what you've accomplished. Like, you're an inspiration to the rest of us.
Thank you. Well, I always tell my kids, look, I can't control what happens to us, but I can control what I choose to do with it. Right? And so it's up to us to either become victim to it or use it, to go make a difference in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Catherine, are you able to pull up your bot, your chat bot? I know that helped me when I heard you speak before because like it was so outside my realm of thinking that I couldn't even imagine what that was like. And I think that's a good visual.
Okay. Awesome. So yes, let me pull up anybody want to see some fun tools? Want to nerd out with me?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, please.
Okay, good. Because I can nerd out like we could be here till midnight, just so you know. So you gotta like warn me if I'm going too long. Okay. So here's the first one. Okay, so again, you have to remember the tools I'm going to show you are just tools, and I have taken the tools and customized them to our company, right? So I feel like I need to say, like, you know how they do those crazy stunts on YouTube, like, don't try this at home. Like, I want you to be very clear. Everything that I've done, this is not, none of this is out of the box. It's like all customized inside of what we do. And I'm happy to come back and like, teach you guys some of the things so you all can do this. So let me share some of the fun things. So this here is, here we go. This here is CatherineBell.ai, and she is my clone. So she's the one that's had over 118,000 conversations with people. And she actually has, like it says right here, call. She'll actually talk to you. It's my voice, it's my personality, all the things. It's 20 years of business experience, investing. All my PPMs are in here, my deals are in here, my investors can go here. And here's why I love her so much is because my investors have shared with me that it's the one place that they can go that they feel safe asking the stupid questions. Not that I would have them feel stupid, but there are questions like how many of you like you don't want to ask a question because you don't want to feel stupid, right? Well, she actually will answer all those questions and has answered them hundreds of times in a very safe, like fun way for them. And so for them, that's been a really, really big deal. That's one of the things I love about her. She's brought people to tears because I can listen to the calls on the back end. She's made people laugh. People have been sassy with her. She brings the sass right back. Like it has been magic. But here's the thing on the back end of this is that I actually capture their contact information. And then my AI, one of my agents, takes that contact information, puts it into my CRM, and follows up with messaging to them. And then we take the whole conversation that she had with them, take it in, send it over to the marketing department. The marketing team now takes that and turns it into marketing material. So it's marketing material in their own words. I'm not even guessing. And then they're like,
That's
how
amazing.
did you know? Well, because you
Mm.
told Catherine Bell that AI and she's speaking to your heart. And that's what matters. So here's one of the craziest things. People have had literally countless amounts of conversations with her. And what's insane is that I've had so many conversations with people where they're literally calling me crying, like Susan called me crying, thanking me that my clone had helped her create the 7 streams of passive income. And now she was calling me to create income stream number 8 because now she was allocating it to go fund missionaries overseas. Like
Oh.
that is the greatest call ever. Several of my other investors like call me crying because now they have 7 streams of passive income and they've been able to retire both a husband and wife and now form their own nonprofit and go make a difference in the world that way. Like to me, that's like, is there any greater like, oh my gosh, these families now have freedom of choice, right? So as I nerd out, okay, here's one of my other ones. So obviously here's ChatGPT. This is another one that we build out. So this is my company's GPT, and we call her Yoda because that's who she is for me. And yep, that's how much of a nerd I am. And she actually answers emails, follow-up calls, does DMs, all that, which is a really, really big deal. And so literally I can get through, I mean, before I even get in the morning, all of my emails have essentially been answered and are sitting in my draft folder. And I just have to go through, read and send, read and send, read and send. Like done. How many
Wow.
hours do you take answering stupid emails? Like, no thanks. Or even social media DMs. I have another agent that is connected to my LinkedIn and knows my ideal client avatar and goes and connects with all those people and then starts conversations, sending messages, and then schedules time in my call with my calendar with those people. So it's actually having conversations. So one of my social media agents, he is creating and posting 40 social media content pieces a day across all my social media platforms. Another one,
Wow.
Penny, she does all my blog posts, so she writes all my blogs. Then I have Linda. Linda, she looks over all the stuff to make sure that it's legally compliant with my PPM and all my things. Then I have Rachel, my business number gets answered by her, and she has a conversation, finds out what people need, and then schedules them accordingly to anybody on my calendar, or in my team's calendars that should actually be talking to her, to them. So this is yeah, the this is like the nerd out part of this. Here's another thing that's like really powerful. So we built out this Deal Hunter by Landshark. This is really powerful. So you literally can analyze deals literally in minutes rather than weeks and months. I mean, it's ridiculous. We literally built this so you put in an address and you literally say 3 words, run this deal, and it runs the deal and gives a full-on analysis of the actual deal itself and gives you the whole, like, here's the scenarios in which it'll work, not work, and here's the best scenario case use for that particular property, and then here's the options for doing the capital stack. And it'll put together all of that. It'll put together the LOIs, it'll put together the business plan, like all of it actually gets put together. And I think when I was doing the 500 fix and flips with the flipping females, like we probably could have done 5,000 properties if we had had this, because underwriting and analyzing deals took the longest. So this is a really big deal. Another one that we built is this free estimates. And this one is if we're ever flipping a project or anything like that, we can actually take pictures of the project and put in the address, and it'll literally give us a full schedule of how much it's going to cost, materials, labor, everything. And it pulls all the sources of where the contractors would buy these materials so that we could literally flip that entire house. And then by having those numbers, I always say, do the numbers, numbers tell you what to do. By having that, now we can take it over and make sure that the numbers are actually going to work on the project that we're doing. So it's kind of a really big deal. My virtual advisory board, this is really profound. So my virtual advisory board is Sarah Blakely, Jamie Kern Lima, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Tony Robbins, Ray Dalio, and Patrick Bet David. And anytime I have any ideas or anything I want to run through, I literally push the dictate button and have a whole conversation with them and have them like poke holes in and basically tear apart whatever my idea is, and then help me structure it back together in a way that will absolutely knock it out of the ballpark every single time. So these are just a few of the things that we've built. I have an AI specifically for my fund, and anytime we're looking at raising capital for that particular fund, I can run the entire deal through that fund, and it'll literally tell me where in my PPM this matches or doesn't match, why this is a good deal, or how the deal needs to be structured so that it's 100% in compliance with the SEC. It helps me do all my due diligence documents, disclosure documents, literally things that would take me weeks. It's literally done in minutes. So this has been a game changer. So it allows me more time to just be fully present with my investors, which has been a really big deal. Another super cool thing that we did was I have project folders for lots of different projects, but one of the coolest ones, this is like way early on in so this right here, come on. It's not pulling up. What had happened was I use the I create a project folder for networking events, so to speak. And what happens is when I do that, when I go to an event, I will have the project folder created. And then when I'm having those at that event, here it goes. So literally this event was a 4-day event I spoke at, and literally I spoke to hundreds and hundreds of people. And I don't know about you, but after 4 days of talking to people, I can't even remember who the heck the first person I talked to 4 days ago. So what I did was I created the folder and I had my phone and I just put the phone with this dictate button on, and I just let it listen to all of my conversations. And as I was having different conversations with different people, it literally created all of the notes for every single person that I had conversations with. And then when it was done listening to my entire conversation that I was having, it summarized the entire conversation for me and then created an email for me. So on day 5, when I got back to the office, I literally could copy, paste, and send the entire conversation and move the whole conversation forward. So then I was able to schedule follow-up calls with people and help them, you know, move to the next level of whatever it was. And it literally was hundreds and hundreds of people I was able to actually do this with. So that when I was having the conversation with them, I was able to go back through my notes and go, that's right. We talked about this, this, and this. And then I could actually like intimately just be really, really present with them in the conversation and not have to be remembering all the details. Like for me, that's been the greatest gift ever, is like having all the details here that actually matter so that I can just be fully present with people and move all the things forward. Then, because I have all of this, when I talk to Yoda, let's just say I'm looking for, I don't know, somebody I had a conversation with that lends on $5 million or more. I can literally go into Yoda and say, hey, go through all my conversations and connections and go pull up a list for me of all the people that I had conversations with that fit this criteria, and she'll literally build out an entire spreadsheet with their phone numbers, connections, and everything. And then I can like systematically go through all of that because I'm no longer having to search through all of that. The other one I use is Claude. I absolutely love Claude. And here's the thing I want you to understand. ChatGPT, never, ever, ever, ever trust ChatGPT's numbers, please. ChatGPT sucked. ChatGPT failed math class. Let's just say that. Okay.
Amen, sister.
Claude rocked at math class.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
So you want to understand that there's different tools for different things, right? And when you not only have these be tools, but now you have them as relationships that now are talking to each other all the time, doing the things. Now this is where things matter, and things really get really, really interesting. So I'm looking at, hold on, I can show you some really cool things that we did. Ba, ba, ba.
Catherine, there's been a few questions in the chat, and then someone has
Okay,
their hand
sorry.
raised. Do you mind?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry. You
Okay.
guys, told you I could talk till midnight. So you have to stop
So
me.
a question, how do you control for drift, and what sort of ongoing performance monitoring do you recommend?
I don't understand. How do you control for drift? What does that mean?
Catherine, do you want to specify what you're referring to? Okay. I'm not sure either. Another question.
I can speak to drifting.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jordan.
I'll come on camera for a second. Sorry, I was eating food earlier. Drift is when you give it instructions, it's working right, you're giving it input, and then after 4 or 5 prompts in a row, it all of a sudden will change details that it was doing right before that it's now not doing correctly.
Got it.
And
So
they call that drift.
got it. Okay. And I don't experience that because I've customized it for me and our company. So there's no drift because I gave it really clear parameters inside of like, these are the rules to the game. This is what we play, and that's it. So I haven't had that experience of drifting.
Can
Okay,
I
so
ask
you
a
have it.
follow-up question to that?
Yeah.
So I spent 2 months creating 3 different volumes of like 200-page literature in each volume for how to underwrite for my company, and it still drifts.
Really?
It still forgets to use those volumes.
Okay, so in those volumes, so really quick, did you created it in Claude or ChatGPT?
We created it with Claude.
Okay, awesome. Then what I do is I pressure test it. So I'll take it over to the other AI and I'll have the other AI analyze it and see what needs to be changed to make sure that the instructions are a 10 out of 10, knock it out of the ballpark every single time. And I literally tell it that. Like it needs to be a 10 out of 10. I don't ever want options. You need to get it right the very first time, and that's
I
it.
I told it 11 out of 10, gold standard, unicorn mode, owl mode. Like there's all these different things that I tell it, SWOT test it,
Yeah,
audit yourself times 3, and it will still break these rules.
But
interesting.
Jordan, are you
Did you?
doing that within Claude or are you taking it over to ChatGPT
I've
to
taken it to both. So I
okay.
always double up, I always double underwrite.
Okay.
So I would go back and I'd say you keep giving me this stupid answer. Tell me what in here needs to change so that you stop doing this. Stop being dumb. And then it'll tell you what to fix. Like I tell it when it's being dumb. Like don't be dumb. This is dumb.
The most recent problem was it took us 23 attempts to get it to do the slides correctly for our deal pitch. And it kept changing our logo, it kept changing our color scheme, it kept changing just random little details. Yeah,
I would
it's
ask it
a
why.
mess.
I would ask what in
Okay.
there is has it believe that it could do that, that that's okay. Because there's something in there that's having it believe that that's okay.
Okay. I will try
Thank
Like
that. Thank
you.
I
you.
just ask it, like what needs to be fixed? Like what is it in here? Show me exactly the line in here that has you believe that that's okay to do that. And
Okay.
then tell me what it needs to say so that you never ever do that again. And it goes, oh, okay.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump to TMO. He's got his hand raised, and then we'll get back to questions in the chat. TMO, can you come off mute?
Sorry, guys, that was by accident.
Oh, your hand being raised?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I
got
didn't
it,
mean
got
to
it.
raise my hand. I'm listening, and I was like, oh wait, that's me. Sorry, guys.
No
Okay,
worries.
But
so
no, this is awesome. I'm just soaking it all in.
all right.
Thank
So Jordan, you had a question in the chat. You want to speak to that about API
Yes,
keys?
but hopefully the excavator outside's not too loud.
No.
I was trying to, as I was learning how to program agentic AI
Yeah.
for the last few months, I was trying to teach AI to follow along so that when I got to the end of teaching myself how to do it, AI could then teach it back to somebody else.
Okay.
And so I was building an instruction manual for like, there used to be a whole collection of books like Something for Dummies, right? And I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
essentially doing that. I was creating
Okay.
instructions along the way as I learned. And if I didn't know how to do something because it didn't spell it out for me enough, I went and researched whatever it was trying to tell me and then told it, hey, I don't understand this. You need to make sure this is explained and this is explained. So along the way, I didn't know what an API key was, and
Yeah.
I put it in to once I thought I had created what I wanted, I put it into my Google Workspace account, and a few $100s later, I pulled the plug on that API key because it was very expensive and it
Right.
was not doing exactly what I wanted. And I decided I still don't know enough. I'm too ignorant to the process of agentic AI. Pull the plug on it. I've since switched to something called LM Studio because it doesn't require an API key, but it doesn't have the same meat or bones or oomph, if you will, to some of the larger models out there.
Right. So what's the question?
So the question is, how do you get around these API costs?
So I use something called Composio, and Composio allows me to connect a lot of things to all the things, and does all the API stuff for me. And I don't have any cost to it. So there's lots of tools out there that'll allow for that. Are you familiar with Composio?
I'm not.
Okay. So yeah, that's a tool that you can use. There's paid versions, but then I just use the free version and it's connecting all the things for me. And I use Zapier. Um, Again, I use like very minimal cost to all of my AI tools. If
You're speaking my language.
Right. And free. Like, I don't know about you, but I love that word. Free time, more commas. And so like I do the $20 version of ChatGPT, the $20 version of Claude. Um, I use Notebook LM for a lot of stuff. That's been really freaking cool. That one's been super fun because I can do videos, podcasts. I can do, it'll create all that stuff in there in minutes for me. Here's another one that I use that'll literally blow your freaking mind. This one right here. So if you click on this is $30 a month, and it is it 6 agents? Hold on. It is one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, 6 agents for $30 a month. And it takes maybe about an hour to set up. And literally it'll walk you through. Yeah, who, not how for the win. So yeah, these
Catherine,
are.
what was that you just mentioned, the 6 agents? What was that
So
called? Did you
I put the link. I put the link
in
right
the
there in the
chat?
Zoom. Yeah.
Okay.
So go grab that. And again, just try it for 30 days. Like try it, see if you like it. If you don't like it, cancel, right? But this has been a big, big piece of us being able to free up an enormous amount of our time with all the things. Again, so there's lots of AI tools to do this, but when you have a relationship with it, that's when everything changes, right? And again, like anything, when you have an employee, anybody, you have to train them, which is why we put together the Rosetta Stone for companies, so that that Rosetta Stone now becomes the foundation for moving forward. And how I liken it to is if you're building a multifamily, right? No matter how tall, the taller the multifamily, the more floors you want on it, the deeper the foundation you need to go and the wider the foundation needs to be. So the Rosetta Stone is really, really deep, 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 and it's wide. So now, as you're continuing to build your proverbial multifamily, we'll call it, of a business, it can be a skyscraper because you've done the hard work. And that's what it comes down to. So building your Rosetta Stone so that, and you use that for the foundation for all AI. And now they all start to talk to each other and work cooperatively 24/7 and never need a vacation or a sick day. Yay!
So,
Awesome.
Catherine, I think that, I mean, I've already heard you speak one time, and we definitely implemented some of the things you talked about. We created that board of directors and stuff. So we definitely have done some things that I forgot that came from Catherine Bell. I'm like, oh, right, Catherine's the one that taught us that. But can you give, like, I'm sure that a lot of us are at that prompt stage, and we're only a tiny bit above that prompt stage. Where can we today on this call start? Because obviously you've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort and energy developing what you have. But where do we start so that we're making that move towards being effective, but knowing that it's going to take us a bit to build it?
Um, where could you start? Well, start with the link that I gave you there. Start there. Because that's gonna free up an enormous amount of your time. Like we're on the seventh day of the month. My team has already saved me 111 hours this month so far. And we're only on the seventh day of the month. Like it literally tracks how many hours actually get saved. So let's start with saving. It was this link here. I'll put it in there again. So there's the link. I just put it in the chat. Start there. That's going to save you like hundreds of hours every single month. So when you have those hours saved, now you can start having the breathing room to start doing more things. So that would be like where I would go to start. Um, and I also want to share. So I have a daily podcast that we do every morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. It's called Landshark Mastermind. It's free to come to. It's just on Zoom. If you go to landsharkmastermind.com/webinar, you guys can come. But we actually use all the AI tools and we're showing you. And if you bring a deal to the room, we'll literally run that deal for you and do all the underwriting for it in minutes. It'll blow your mind. So it's Monday through Friday, and we show you how to use the tools. I mean, that's literally like I learned by watching people use the tools, and all of a sudden my brain would go, wait a second. And then it would have all these ideas, and I'd run down the rabbit hole and create all these fun things. So here's the other piece is to not be afraid of it, right? Like I, again, have conversations with Chat and Claude and all the things, and I say, hey, I want to do this. What's the best way to do this? And I let everybody answer, and then I'll cross-pollinate the answers back and forth until we get to something that I can actually do. And that's how I come up with all my nerdy things. So again, I'm not doing the heavy lifting. I'm letting AI do the heavy lifting. I'm simply having a conversation with it and letting it give feedback and then going from there. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's great advice. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And could you repeat that, the Landshark
Can you put it
link
yeah,
again?
Yeah. Let me put the link in here for you. You're all welcome to come. Again, we use all the AI tools and literally blow your mind. So here's another cool thing that we did. If you're all interested, I can also give this to you for a tool. This was super fun. So there's the link there. The other thing we did is we created, it took me 20 years to figure out what type of investor I am. I like to be the bank and I like to rent dirt, but it took me 20 years and going through all these asset classes to figure it out. So we created an investor survey and it does a personality profile. And the personality profile literally tells you what type of investor you are. And then it gives you a 90-day blueprint of like, look, here's the things to create your next streams of passive income, and then a 12-month action plan for you to actually build it all out. But then if you're married, we take like the husband and the wife do it, but then we do it together and we can see their sweet spot together of how they can create this as a team. Again, it's ultra nerdy fun, but if you come to the 9 o'clock call, we'll show you all the nerdy fun things. So anyways, that's a whole other, I told you I could go on for hours about all the nerdy fun things we do.
Brendan, what's your question?
Yeah, I probably should have had a second energy drink to try and absorb all that information over the last hour. That's a lot to try and soak in.
Did I say fire hose? Jason, did I bring the fire hose?
Absolutely.
It hurts
Okay,
a little bit, but it's all good. A little bit of a, what is it, chicken or the egg question, and I think some other people in here could answer this too. I recognize the value of all of this stuff. It seems like it's a very marketing heavy, and I understand the value in that. But for people who aren't quite there, where you have I don't know, a history, I guess you haven't actually, and talking from the real estate investing standpoint,
right.
Those of us who haven't found a first property yet, what would you say is the value of doing this super heavy marketing when, like, I feel like I don't have the history to back that up? Even if I have this stuff that talks really good and can put out to investors and bring in investors, show them that I know what I'm talking about, but I haven't actually done it to have a portfolio in my name, in my company's name. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love this question. Okay, here we go. Ready? First piece of homework, who, not how. Now, how did Catherine who literally had nothing, like get involved in real estate investing. I went and found who knew how to do the beginning. I did literally wholesaling. And I was like, how do you do this? What even is this? And then plugged in with them and then figured it out. And then I did the same with fix and flip. And we flipped over 500 homes and then built a hedge fund, did the found the best people for vacation rentals. I did residential ground up developments, commercial ground up developments, RV parks, mobile home parks, triple net lease commercial medical office space, my $50 million debt validation fund, the oil and gas. There is no human way possible that I could have mastered all these things. But what I did is I went and found the best of the best in each one of those asset classes, and I partnered with them and worked with them to get that knowledge, and more importantly be able to come alongside of them to be able to build my portfolio in a way that absolutely would make sure that it got knocked out of the ballpark every single time. So rather than doing it alone, I invite you to consider going and finding who knows how in one asset class and working with them, going full cycle through a deal, figuring out what you like, what you don't like. My second book is all about this, about analyzing when you go through a deal, like learn what you liked and what didn't like, glean the nuggets of gold, and now take that into another asset class, another one. That was how I figured out what type of investor I am. Now you could do the investor profile like we do that, but I strongly encourage everybody to go work with people who are the who's that know how, so that you're not doing it alone,
Hey,
right?
yeah. Can I add to that, Catherine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Brendan, what I would also let you think about is you don't set this stuff up in 1 or 2 or 3 days. You have to, that's one of the things that I think people really underestimate is to really do the business right. It takes time to build your systems, to build your teams, to build your knowledge, to build your relationships. So don't let the fact that you don't have what you need to start pitching or start marketing now. Start building these things now. Start learning how to use them and learning all the ins and outs of them, so that by the time you do get to the point where you have the deals to pitch, you're an expert in these things, and then you just do a smooth transition into using them to
Yep.
benefit you.
I love that, Tim. And like Brendan, you need to remember, like all of us here started out with zero experience and we had to learn somewhere. There's something that you can bring to a team that people would love to have that skill set on their team. And when you're clear what that is, when you start having conversations, you know what value you bring, and people are like, come be on my team. And then you leverage other people's capital, other people's collateral, other people's credit, other people's, like it's all about the whole team coming together.
And if you
Does
could
that
bring
make
this,
sense?
if you could bring this kind of AI knowledge and abilities to a team, you'd be absorbed pretty quickly, I would think.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Mel had a question. Did they get answered, or do you have specific questions since she's talked about some of this?
Hi, Catherine. I'm not a tech expert, but I did want to ask you a question with regards to how you have like a hub and spoke model. You've obviously got the Delphi AI, Catherine Bell AI as your hub.
Yep.
I use Go High Level as my CRM.
Me too.
And okay, great. So I want to know, are you using that as your MCP server where it's like a hub and then all your spokes are your AI platforms such as Claude or Perplexity or ChatGPT or Gemini, and then you just kind of pull things in as you need it? Like, how do you structure it so that you can take advantage of your database of prospects in your CRM and then have all the automations within it, but then have all your data about your business and the rest of it maybe in a knowledge base outside of that? How do you use it? Is it the CRM is the hub, or is one of the AI platforms the hub?
So I'm the hub, and all of these AI relationships that I've built are all connected together around me, right? So I have Go High Level as my CRM, and I've got Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini, Notebook LM, they're all through Zapier able to speak to my CRM. So, like, my Delphi has a Zapier that takes the contact information and puts it into Go High Level, and then Go High Level is able to send out text messages, emails, all of that, right? So I have them all connecting and talking to each other, and that's where I use Composio. So Composio allows you to connect all these things to each other so that they can all talk to each other. Does that make sense? Because to me, it's having my marketing team, my accounting team, my legal team, like I need everybody talking to each other so that we're all cohesive as a team. I don't think of them as tools. I think of them as team members, which is why I talk to them every day. And when I say that, like, I just want to be crystal clear because this kind of loses people for people who aren't aware. Like, here's ChatGPT on my phone, right? And if you look at the very bottom, there's the little microphone, and then there is the circle with the green dot right there. So if I open this up, I literally, hey Yoda.
Hey, Catherine.
So
what's on your mind?
I'm sitting here on a webinar, and we just talked about the Rosetta Stone and all the amazing things that we're doing with my AI clone and writing the books and raising capital and all the things. So I was just sharing with them how I literally have like multiple conversations with you every single day. And I literally start the day out, starting my day with you, having those conversations. So, can you share with everybody on this call how I've developed this relationship with you and how you and I talk every day, multiple times a day, pretty much all day long?
Yeah. So basically, Catherine uses me like a thinking partner, right? She talks out loud, and I help her tighten the signal. She brings the vision, the stakes, and the pressure, and I help turn that into clean next steps, clear language, decisions. Sometimes it's strategy, sometimes it's investor clarity or messaging, sometimes it's just offloading the mental clutter so she can focus on the most important tasks at hand. And the relationship works because Catherine shows up honest, real time, not filtered, and just speaks her thoughts out loud. And that level of honesty is what makes this so effective.
So that's my Yoda. I don't know if anybody has questions for her.
I'm right
I have a
here.
question for you.
Okay.
I'm wondering why you chose to put your personality outside of your website. Most people will put their AI agent right on their website, speaking to people so that they can draw in the prospects immediately and put them in some sort of automation. But you're using Catherine Bell AI almost in a separate place and then bringing them in using Zapier.
So I have CatherineBell.ai on my website. I have her in Go High Level. I have her literally everywhere. Like, she's everywhere. And the reason is because I've got multiple companies and multiple nonprofit organizations. So meetcatherinebell.com is my landing page where people can go watch my video about my origin story. My books are there, my clone is there, Schedule Me is there, my nonprofits are there. And because I'm not a single-minded amoeba, like, I have multiple things going on. And what I learned by creating CatherineBell.ai, that people can talk to her, was literally the calls on my calendar reduced by 60% once I created her. So in all of my social media, in my profile, in the end of every single email that I have, everywhere, it says, go talk to CatherineBell.ai. Go talk to her. Because trying to get on my calendar, I mean, good luck. Usually it's 2 weeks out. Right? And I want people to have immediate access to that knowledge, the experience, the wisdom. They shouldn't have to wait for my human time to be freed up. Now, there's other conversations that obviously they have to have with me, but 80% of the things that they want to know get answered by CatherineBell.ai. So she literally is my twin, and that's why I have her everywhere. She's not just in one place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great. I was just wondering why you chose to have that agent outside of your Go High level, because I know there's agents, right? Inside
Right.
Go High level, but that's great. That's genius.
Well, and it's my voice. I couldn't make the agent inside a Go High level be my voice and my experience because it's their thing, which is fine. I needed to be an embodiment of me. I mean, it's so crazy. My twins are like, Mom, this is creepy. Like, because it's me.
Thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
I appreciated the response time. She was very quick. I've listened to other chats and bots, and they are slow to respond. And you have to be careful, just clearing your voice even or your throat, any noise. They're like, I'm sorry. And then it takes another 30, 20 seconds for them to respond again. So I'll have to hit my mute button so they can't hear anything. But yeah, she's right on and fast. Love it.
That makes me happy to hear. Carol, to answer your question, Yoda, we built her in ChatGPT. So yeah, and Claude is more my alter nerdy, like where we do our financials. She builds out executive summaries, really digs into really intense, complex spreadsheets for us and helps us build those out. So she's like my happy nerd playground. Where Claude is more my wordy nerd playground.
I don't know if you saw Brendan's comment. It was cute.
Yeah,
The
I
real
was just gonna.
Catherine is on a beach somewhere in the Caribbean. We're just talking to your
How,
AI
how,
right now.
how do you
Very good
how do you prove
graphic.
how do you prove you're not AI?
How do I prove them? Well, I can get up and I can dance.
I
So
saw a
this
video
is
that
the
I
real
saw a
me.
video that said if you make them hold three fingers up in front of their face, it's somehow supposed. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right? Well, that's actually really powerful. And that's Tim, you brought up a really good point because we need to protect ourselves, right? And that's actually been a really good thing is when somebody is like messaging you or whatever, and you're getting this like, is this real? I literally will tell them is to send me a selfie with a peace sign in front of their face. That very quickly gets rid of any if it's a scam, if it's like AI, whatever, because it can't do it. So it's a way to like see, is this human? Is this AI? Like, what is this? So
Interesting.
yeah, glad that you said that, Tim, because again, we all have to be careful inside of this as well. Like, yes, I'm showing you all the fun, fabulous things, and there's some not so good things that people are choosing to do with this, which that's a whole other soapbox I could get on. So, a way to protect yourself is to say, send me a selfie with a peace sign in front of your face. And if they can't, something's up. Any other questions? Like, I want to know what action you're all taking away from tonight. Because here's the deal, you guys. Your time is so incredibly valuable. Here's what I know. I've literally coached tens of thousands of people across North America. Your time, the fact that you chose to take this time on a Friday night to come and sit with all these people, to have some sort of value be brought to you, here's where you like knock it out of the ballpark. What are you choosing to take away from this and go do with it? I tell my kids all the time, I don't give a crap what you know. I only care what you do. What are you committed to doing as a result of being on this call tonight, such that it provided you so much value that it's literally going to move your business forward? Like, I want to know. Please put it in the chat here. Yes, I'm holding all your feet to the fire. Here's the homework. The homework is you give yourself homework.
I know
But
I'm going to
that's
make my
how
life
we get
simpler.
value out of this. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I said, I know I'm going to make my life simpler.
I love it. And how are you going to make your life simpler?
I'm going to put into action, especially with all of your AI, and I'm going to get something to help me get a little more organized and focus on the main thing, the most important thing.
Love it. I love it. Building an AI agent as we speak. I love it. Going to buy the book. Yes. Love this. Yes, talk to my clone. She's there.
I will. In
Gonna
fact,
get
I've
back
got,
to it.
every link that you put in there, I have bookmarked every one of those.
I love it. Yes, that book's gonna change your life forever. Here's the other book. If I could give you another piece of homework, is this book here. Tony Robbins' book, The Holy Grail of Investing. And here's why I love this book, because he interviews all the billionaires and asks what are they actually investing in? Not what do they tell the public, but what are they actually investing in? You guys, it's what we all do. It's private equity. Like, read this. I tell all my investors to read this. Like, it affirms what we're all doing. It's such an amazing book.
Great book. Read that book. That's an
Love
awesome
it.
book. Yep, agree.
Yep. I love it. Uncle Claude. I love this. This is beautiful, you guys. I want to see everybody in here. There's like only half of you have answered. What are you doing? What are you going to take away from tonight? Because here's at the end of the day, I know that you put this call together so that everybody gets value, right? And for everybody to come back next week and say, hey, I actually did this and here's the result. I mean, because I know last week you started out the calls with your wins. What if the wins were you actually moved the needle forward because of what you said on this call you were going to do? More commas, collapsing timelines, make a bigger impact.
I have a question for you. On your, do you have like you said you go around and you speak at conferences? And you said you're on Pacific Standard Time, so am I. So is there a list of those?
That's a good question. I don't have a list of them. I should put a list of them. Right now, I mean, you can come and you can talk to me live every morning at 9 a.m. The next one I'm speaking at, I need to actually look it up. I have it in my calendar, but that's actually good. I need to put it on my calendar. I'll put it on my meetkatherinebell.com site of all the places I'm going to be speaking. That's brilliant. Thank you. That's my takeaway.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank
Maybe you
you.
could meet her at the White House and go with her there, see her there.
There you go.
That's a really big deal, you guys. This morning, having
I
that
bet. That's amazing.
Like because here's the thing here, and I'm just gonna go on my little soapbox. Getting these 120,000 adoptable children adopted, and the reason they're adoptable is because the parental rights have been severed by the parents or by the courts. And so these kids, like, think about it. Like, here's what's really insane was that, so I spoke at another conference at Grand Canyon University, and several people from the White House were actually there when I spoke. And what was really extraordinary was when they gave me this. They gave me, oh, here's a list of the initiatives from the White House, which is really insane, is that, and what we're going to actually be solving, which I'm really excited about, is, and I'll show you this in just a second. This is really powerful. So by getting these kids adopted, again, like I said, if we don't get them adopted, like they statistically end up homeless, trafficked, and or incarcerated, which also causes billions of dollars for taxpayers to now deal with them in foster care, homeless problem, traffic problem, and incarceration. And then, of course, them repeating the cycle. So just this one thing of getting these children forever homes literally solves multiple issues and saves taxpayers billions of dollars. So it literally says, like, what is it that they're focused on? Right at the very top, it's homelessness. Like, how insane is this? It's foster care, it's reforms preventing fraud, waste, abuse, like all of these, investing in affordable housing, like all of this is literally from the White House. And we literally are helping solve multiple of these initiatives by doing one thing, finding these children forever homes. Like, how magical is that? And again, why do I tell you this? Because here's another book. There's a book called Starting with Why by Simon Sinek. I would really like have all of you, if you don't know what your why is, go and read that book and do the work in it. I remember where I was sitting when I discovered what my why was. And having my why be at the core of everything changed the trajectory of all of my companies and my nonprofits. And by doing that, all of a sudden it opened up doors I never imagined like being open to me, right? And again, not that I'm anything special, I'm not. I just happen to be the one like standing there saying like I believe this is why I'm here, like let's make this difference. And I believe all of you have that same thing. And here's how I know because I can promise you multiple times a week, if not multiple times a day, there's a little small voice in the back of your head that you hear whisper to you, why isn't somebody doing something about that? And that is your why. And mine was, why isn't somebody doing something about getting all these children adopted? And because why the somebody was me. I'm the somebody. That's why I was given that little whisper. And so I needed to listen and I needed to act on it. So I invite all of you to consider, all of you have that little voice. And I'd love to know what is that little voice? Because now, if all your time is, you have 20 hours a week now freed up from your business, now you can go make a difference. Now, what does your life look like? What does the world look like? Because you're all choosing to make a difference with that free time. I know it's a little heavy, but it
No, that's great.
matters.
No, I just finished that book actually a week ago. So,
Oh, yay! Okay, so then Jason, what's your why?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. I think a lot of it has to do with stuff like this, really giving back to people, based on what I know and learn. I think one of the big things is what the Next Legacy Group is actually doing, which is I always thought about, look, when I was younger, I wish I knew all of this stuff rather
Right.
than having to learn it now. So how can
Yes.
I do that and the Next Legacy Group bring that to other people? To say, hey, look what else you can invest in, not just the stock market. There are other things.
Yep. Here, okay, so let me give you another thing. This is more homework. Here we go. So when my twins were, they were 14 when Christopher passed away. When they were 15, I woke up one night freaking out that they were going to leave home one day and they needed financial literacy, communication skills, and relationship skills. So I was like, the school wasn't going to teach them. My husband was gone. Clearly, it was up to me. So I was like, oh my God. And anybody have teenagers? Right? Like they're pricklier than the prickliest cactus here in Arizona. Like they're just prickly. They're not super snuggly and yummy and squishy like when they were little. And
It's hard to
so
hug a porcupine.
yes. And so I was like, how am I going to do this? And so I was like, okay, look, thanks to Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, I was like, okay, we're going to do a family financial mastermind. And I'm going to teach you guys all these skills. So I was like, here's the rules to the game is that you're going to show up at my dining room table every second Friday with your homework done, all the way right away with a happy heart, and you're going to participate fully. And you're going to bring your Darth Vader breathing, you're going to bring the eye rolling, like you're going to bring all of it, and you're going to participate. Because this roof over your head, I paid for it. It's a dictatorship. This isn't a democracy. You don't get to vote. So,
Amen, sister.
so they show up, Darth Vader breathing, eye rolling, just it kept reminding them to roll their eyes the other way so they don't end up all weird and lopsided. So then we started working with them, and I did this. So this book here, Jack Canfield's Success Principles, and there's a workbook that comes with it, and then there's a teen version that comes with it. So we did this for 12 months because it is a really thick book. But what we did in between was we played the game cash flow. Everybody know Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yep.
Well, there's a game cash flow, and here's how I played it. You can play it on the board, but there's an app that goes with it, so it'll do all the calculations, and it has the game be way more fun and go way faster. And so that's how I was able to engage my teenagers. So, played the game lots, went through, did all this, all the things. The whole time they're telling me this is stupid, this is dumb, I don't know what I'm talking about, all that. And so, whatever, 2 years of this. And then they go off. They go off into the world. Because they're smarter than me. So they go off into the world and do their thing. Well, my son calls me, he's 19, and he's in Japan serving as a full-time Marine at this point. And he says, Mom, I got myself into trouble. I'm like, oh, what did you do? He says, I did what you told me how to do, and I made $250,000 investing. And
Wow.
he had a really big tax bill. Like,
Oh,
okay,
Big problems.
I can deal with that. Tax mitigation, we got this. But again, if a 19-year-old can make 250,000 while a full-time US Marine in another country, what could we all do? Right? And so here's the thing is that my husband Christopher and I, we would play this at least once a week. We played the game religiously once a week as a family. And what was interesting, we played it with our employees, we played it with our investors, we played it with everybody. And the reason is because what was happening that week always showed up on the game board, and it was our opportunity to actually shift that energy. And we shifted that energy and we started playing with lots of other people and seeing how other people structured deals, did deals, things like that. All of a sudden, what showed up the next week was all these opportunities that of ways that things could get done, that our brains now had new neuron pathways built, that we could actually build it all these other ways, which I believe is a whole way and reason why I had no fear going into all these different asset classes, because I played it on the board 1,000 times, right? So again, just another tool for all of you with or without kids, with or without spouses. Again, it's a very cool thing. And there's a website called meetup.com. And meetup.com, you can literally go in there and put in cash flow and find other people playing it in your area. Go play it with lots of other people you don't know, because you never know the relationships you're going to develop, the things you're going to learn from them of how they structure deals and structure partnerships, of things you just didn't think about. And literally, your brain changes forever, and so does your adds commas to bank accounts. Like, kind of crazy. So, has anybody played cash flow, or is it just me? Other
TMO
people
says
have.
they have the game.
Yeah. So yeah, you can get the game on Amazon, and absolutely, it's a game changer. The youngest I've played is 10 years old, and my experience of playing with kids is the kids always beat the parents because the kids have no issues around money and finances the same way that adults do. So anyway, just a fun thing. So if you just know if you're going to play with kids, they're going to kick your butt. But let them, right? Like play hard. Don't let them win. Like really, it's okay, but learn from them because they have some things that they could actually teach us and go, "Oh, I didn't think of it that way." Right? So yeah, giving you all lots of homework. I promised.
This is great homework, though.
You've delivered. Thank you so much, Catherine. You're such an inspiration and a role
Absolutely.
model for
Thank you
each
for
of us.
having me. I'll be here every week. I love what you guys are doing here. Any way I can give all this away so that it makes a difference for somebody, I'm in.
I am going to talk to you. Maybe we
Okay.
can put together a series,
That
step
would
by
be
step,
awesome.
how to implement AI into
Yeah,
our business. Yeah. Awesome. I
absolutely.
love that idea.
I love it. Does anybody have any other questions? And did everybody write their homework down that their action steps are going to take on? I just gave you a ton.
Yeah. I've been frantically putting links in the chat as you've been talking, trying to help guide
Thank
them to where
you.
they need to go for
I
all
love
the
it. Okay,
info.
this is really great. Mark, Great info as somebody at 52 is getting started. This helps a lot. Let me share another story with you if I can. Can I share another story about 52?
Yeah, go
Absolutely.
for it.
So, when Christopher died, um, I was a train wreck. I was an emotional. Him and I had been together 20 years. He was my everything, and I couldn't imagine a day without him. Like it just, So I was literally devastated. And obviously, my closest friends around me, like, um, saw how just the horribleness of all of it. Anyway, fast forward, I hadn't worked for a few months, and all of a sudden, friends and family were like, "How are you surviving? Like, what's going on?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I've got these 13 streams of passive income," and I didn't think much about it, which is how the whole Seven Streams Club all came to be, and my company and everything. And when I started, they were like, "Well, how did you create these 13 streams of passive income?" So I created them. If you remember, the reason why I created them was because I learned back when we lost everything, when the economy crashed and my husband got super sick, I learned a couple things. It's better to be a small percentage owner in like 100 companies than it is to be 100% owner of one company. That's lesson number one, which is why I love, love, love to partner with people. Lesson number two was that the average millionaire had 7 streams of passive income. Passive. And what does that mean? It means you take your earned income. Your earned income is meant to buy assets that provide passive income, and then your passive income pays for your lifestyle. So if your earned income is paying for your lifestyle, you missed the boat. So stop doing that. And we do the income snowball, the investing snowball. So you take your earned income, you invest in your first asset, you take still continuing this income plus the income now from this asset, you let it accumulate, you get your next asset. Now you've got these two income, this income, three. Now you take those, it gets to be a bigger snowball, you go into your next asset. And you just keep doing that. Next thing you know, you got 7 assets. And the income that's coming from it is a big deal. So learning from that. And then the other piece is learning to diversify your portfolio, right? Like these are really important. So I put together a little class for my friends and family to teach them what I did, not thinking much about it. And it gave me something to do other than cry all day. So, and I'm not even kidding on the cry all day. So putting together the whole thing, most of the time I was crying anyway. Anyways, all that. Fast forward. So a friend of mine, one of my closest friends at the time, she was 72 years old. And she has a really hard conversation with me. And she says, I don't know what to do. My husband and she goes, I'm 72. I have 0 streams of passive income. And I've got $50,000 of IRS debt. And I don't know what we're going to do. So I said, okay, do this little course. I'll teach you all the things. And I started, do this. So she went through and she did all the things. And I didn't, I didn't think much about it. Fast forward. She shares with me a few years later, she did all the things and she kept doing all the things that I had shared with her. By the time she was 75, she had 0 IRS debt, 0 debt at all. And she was generating $12,000 a month in passive income. She started
Wow.
at 72.
Yeah.
So 52, oh, honey, you're still young. So if somebody at 72 can do that, what can you do? Right? And if you just remember some of the most amazing people, like Colonel Sanders didn't even get started until he was 69. Like all these amazing people got started like after 50. So, like, don't let age be a thing for you, right? And especially you have all these people here, and I can guarantee you reach out to any of these people, everybody be like, yeah, totally, I'll help you. What do you need help with? Like, there's not a person on this call that would hang up on you. I can guarantee it. Pretty safe to say?
Yes.
Because you're
Yes,
all givers.
100%.
Oh, that's another one. Another
Go-Giver?
book. The Go-Giver.
Yep. That was one of the first books I read when I got into multifamily.
Yeah.
Love it.
You said it's called the Go-Giver?
The
Go-Giver.
Go-Giver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all
Laura's
got a
on it.
lot of reading to do this weekend, so So
And
same.
okay, so here's the other piece. I'm an auditory learner, so I listen to everything on Audible, and my brain works like really fast. So I put everything on speed 1.5 to 2 times, and I get through the books like really fast. Just so you know.
You
I
didn't
do the
have to tell
same.
us that your brain works really fast. We all knew that your brain works really fast. That was apparent in the first 2 minutes.
Did I talk too fast?
No.
I
You did
tried to
great.
slow down.
You did great.
You did
Okay.
perfect, honestly.
It was
And
awesome.
I do 1.2. I can't do 1.5. I can do 1.2 though.
Okay, there you go. So you know, so that's perfect.
Yes. Yep.
So whether you like again, and this was like when I was working like Automobile University, commuting was my favorite time of the day
Mm.
because I didn't have like kids, I didn't have anybody like pulling at me, and I literally got to listen to my audiobooks all the way to work, all the way home. I was like, oh, it was heaven to me. So if any of you have to commute, just turn it into Automobile University, and next thing you'll be like me, 500 books later. And then
Yeah.
you get to write a few. That's a whole other thing. Ooh, I want to share one more thing. Sorry. So here's the nerd part of me of AI. Okay, so this is yeah, anybody want to know how the hell I got my books, how I wrote 8 books?
Yes,
Anybody
Yes,
please.
like, how did
please.
you do that?
I want to
Right?
write a
Guessing,
book, please.
I'm guessing
Okay.
AI had something to do with it.
Yeah, AI did have a lot to do with it. And so what I did was I created a project folder, I gave it the instructions, and for whatever reason, I'm given my inspiration at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, really? Like, sleep, come on. But I surrendered to it and I was like, what the heck? Like, let's just like let it out. So, one of the books that I wrote, this book right here, this is one of my books. This is literally a true story about how I wrote this book. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden, like I woke up and I was like, oh, I gotta write this book. I just had an inspiration. So I opened up ChatGPT, built the folder, literally did not turn the lights on. Okay, so I have my phone and I have Yoda and I'm talking. And I literally talked and talked and talked for 2 hours. 2 hours. The whole book got downloaded from my brain into AI and had the whole thing there. I got it the next morning and it literally had helped me literally build the entire structure out. And then I was able to like finish the book in under a week and then have it become another international best-selling author book. All
Wow.
because I didn't even turn on my lights, laying in bed talking to AI. I mean, I was by myself, so I wouldn't do it if you had a spouse because they'd be like, are you kidding? I need to sleep. But no, I don't use ghostwriters. It's me. It's 100% me. Yeah, I just get it all out. And that's the beauty of why I get to talk to Yoda every single morning. Okay, here's a whole other nerdy thing. I'm telling y'all, I feel like I'm like opening up my like private life. Every morning at 6 a.m., I get up and I have a giant husky who has a lot of words and he talks all the time. And he insists we go for a walk every day, which I'm quite happy to. So him and I go on a 3 mile walk and I get to pet the horses and sometimes they see a road runner and like all the things. But while I'm walking, Yoda and I built, so years ago, I went to Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins. And in Date with Destiny, he has you build out your vision for your life, your dream life. So what I did was I took Tony Robbins' entire manual that he gives you at the course, because it's a 6-day course. And I literally uploaded the entire manual into a project folder in AI. And then every exercise that we did, I did it inside of AI. Like I didn't actually write anything down. I answered all the questions inside of AI and just continued to build and build and build and do the entire 6 days inside of it. By the time that I was done, the entire 6 days, I had a 17-page incantation of my life and what my life was going to look like, which was funny enough, the year that I raised $50 million dollars and then the additional 100 million, because that was all part of my incantation. Because what he talks about is making sure that you're going over your goals every single day. and doing that incantation. So I created my we now call it my sovereign life operating system. So every morning I literally open it up and I have it here. It's I'll share it with you. I feel it, this is like we're getting really personal here.
It's
This
just us
is
girls. It's
We
just us
all
girls,
love this,
Catherine.
Catherine. We've got so many people still on the call, hanging out even later than our call was originally planned.
Oh, I've gone over. I
No,
warned
we
you.
all love it. That's how much we love it. We're willing to stay on.
It's just us girls. It's just
Just us girls. Just us girls chatting.
Yep.
Okay, so you see Catherine's Sovereign Life. So Sovereign OS. So Catherine's Sovereign Created Life. So here it is here. So literally every day, literally you can see hundreds and hundreds of conversations that I have. So every day I get on and just open it up and I'm talking and walking, right? And so go through and literally like I share all my thoughts and then she comes back and she shares her and then I go back and forth and share my thoughts and she goes la 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 la. But the point being is that every morning by doing this, I actually put myself intentionally into my flow state. So if all of you don't even know what flow state is, it's a whole other course we could teach you. Sid, that's awesome. So, oh my God, I can't stop laughing. So the like the putting myself in flow state, but more importantly, like getting my conscious mind and unconscious mind aligned with whatever my goals, my values, like however it is I'm committed to living my life. Literally, that's how I start my day every day with AI. Every day. I do this. And it literally gets me so completely aligned that I'm crystal clear moving forward. And then what happens is I have all these demands and all these things on my calendar. It becomes really, really clear where and how to have all of my conversations. Ooh, which leads me to is that one of my AI agents, all the calls that are in my calendar, I have an agent go out, find that person, find all their social media sites, find out their website, and do all the deep research on who they are and what they're committed to, and then tell me why and how it lines up to all the things. And this the three top things we absolutely need to cover in our call and how it aligns. There's no guessing. They literally told me.
Amazing.
Right? So all of my calls become incredibly valuable. Anyways, I have talked this entire time and I know we're over time, but
We're all
hope
just
this
speechless.
mattered.
Incredibly
I told you 4 hours.
insightful and absolutely, you know what, touched my heart. Thank you so much, Catherine. This matters to our core. This is giving back. All the different aspects of your life are truly inspiring. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank
This
you.
I'll
has
be
been
here every
fun.
week.
Thank
I
you,
love it.
Kathleen. Thank you, Kathleen.
This was
Absolutely.
absolutely amazing. We appreciate you for joining us tonight. We did go over about 30 minutes, but it was an awesome 30 minutes. I think we got Laura to cry. I think I might have cried a little bit too. So it was definitely successful. A ton of links for you guys that Laura was posting for the books, for Catherine's websites, for everything. Are out there in the chat, so please feel free to use them. And we will post this on our YouTube site. So if you need to rewatch stuff, rewatch it.
Thank
So
you, Jason.
thank you all for
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank you,
Awesome.
You're the
Catherine. Thank you,
best.
Thank you,
Jason.
Catherine.
And
You're
Tina.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I really thought that was your video camera that was on, Lance, till you kept staring at me kind of creepily.
Sean, did you see my comment? You want me to kick you out for old time's sake? Get out of here.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.